Greetings gentlemen, it's the Shaman here coming at you on the TNL channel. It's been a while since I made a video, so looking forward to giving you some really juicy, good information. And today's video is all about debunking the myth that women do not want to be approached because it's uncomfortable. Alright, so let's dive into this myth that women don't like to be approached by men. Is this true? Well, really what women want is they don't want to be approached in unwanted ways, undesirable ways, uncalibrated ways, ways that are awkward. But what women do like is they like to be approached by a man who is comfortable, relaxed. He knows who he is in his story, he knows what he wants to give, he has a certain sense of what he's going to do next, which is basically just saying hi and finding out what she's up to begin with. And then he has a sense of what it is that he can do to start to deal with that experience. Like there's only so many options that can actually happen inside of an interaction when you're meeting a stranger. Either they're going to be open to meeting you and you're going to have a nice pleasant interaction and then see what happens next. They're going to be not open to meeting you and they're just going to say, sorry, I'm busy or not interested, or they're just going to ignore you and that's the end of that. Or there might be a little bit of maybe, they're not really sure about what you want or why you're there, and they're open to possibilities of getting to know you a little bit more, but they need to build some sense of trust, confidence. They want to know a little bit more about who you are, why you're there, and what is the context of this kind of situation. Now, in my opinion, this is really the crux of this thing. These guys have a fear that they're not going to know what to do in this moment when they go up to meet a woman and they say something to her. And in that moment where they don't know what to do, they're going to be rejected. They're going to feel pathetic. They're going to feel small. And that's going to remind them that they don't, let's say, feel good about themselves in some of these areas. Maybe they feel doubt or fear or insecurity about women, about relationships, about future, about these kinds of things. So the possibility of walking up to a stranger and saying hi and having all of that stuff thrown in your face, that you feel like you're not good enough or something's not working or you feel like you can't get what you want, is a huge threat to the sense of identity. It's a huge threat to your idea of who you are and how the world works. So what do? We make excuses. Guys make a lot of excuses, a lot of myths, a lot of things in their head that they build into stories that justify the protection that they have from feeling that kind of rejection. So a lot of guys will tell themselves stories. I would love to go and approach women. I would love to have a better dating life. I would love to have a girlfriend. I would love to have a better sex life. But at the same time, women don't like to be approached like that. Women don't like the kind of guy that I am that's doing this kind of approach. Now, I really want to break this down and help you realize it's not true when you start to think like this. You've got to start to look at this in terms of it's a system, it's a process of starting to become somebody that is capable of being able to meet strangers and start to go in this kind of direction. Now, for example, when I do live training with guys, when we do a lot of intensive transformational work in our workshops, we take guys from a position of, let's say, very low experience or no experience or like medium sort of level experience to very quickly becoming capable, confident, able to walk up to strangers, have good conversations, and basically go with the flow. Now, one of the ways that I help guys to understand that exact process is to break it down into chunks, right? Break it down into small pieces that make sense that you can start to have some kind of control over that's not overwhelming to your brain. Because if you see a woman that you like and you think, she's cute, but I wonder if she's going to be the mother of my children, or I wonder how good I'm going to be in bed with her, or I wonder if she's going to like me after we go on a date, etc. But at the same time, you've never even said hello to her. You don't even know what the situation is. You don't know if she's open and friendly, if she has a boyfriend, if she has time, or if she has any of this. So why waste all this excess energy? Why worry about who you need to be or what's going to happen multiple steps down the way when all you really need to be aware of right now is that you're here, there's somebody you want to say something to, which really you want to meet them because you are essentially an open, lovable, vulnerable man who wants to meet other open, lovable, vulnerable people and have a great time, have a friendship, have a connection, have an adventure. So if you have this kind of mindset, this kind of idea, and you start to approach from this step one is, I want to meet this person. I want to be friendly to this person. I want to be curious about this person. I want to know something about this person. Now, a simple thing that you can do, which is very rewarding and very easy to do, is just start to look for things inside of people, inside of situations around you that you can use as an opportunity to give a compliment or to make a comment or to make an assumption. Sometimes even just seeing a girl standing on the street waiting for someone is enough to say, hey, I see you're waiting for somebody. I just wanted to meet you for a minute. Hey, I noticed that you're standing here on your phone. Are you waiting for somebody? What are you doing? And now, obviously, that can be a little bit strange if a stranger just walks up to you and starts asking you these random personal questions about your life. So how do we make that more of a natural context or an easy kind of flow of an interaction? Well, we start to calibrate the situation. So what does that mean? It means you first of all start from you are a human first, And this person you want to connect with is also a human. They are not an object. They are not a symbol of your status. They are not something to acquire. They're not something to take. They're not something that's an object for you to use so that then you feel better about yourself. They're a human being that has their own values and needs and goals and desires and feelings and different worlds going on. And your objective is to go and to meet this person from a place of connection. And ideally from a curious place, a confident place, and a friendly place. So what can you do to get into a cool, calm, confident, friendly place inside yourself so that when you're meeting people, you're going out into the world to try to meet people, you're coming from this place that is signaling to them that you are non-threatening, you're friendly, you're open, and you're essentially somebody who is pleasant to be around, at least to have a chat with. Now, the first thing is, I want to meet you. The next thing is you need to make some kind of comment. I already mentioned this. You need to observe something. You need to say something. You need to give her something that is making her feel good. You want to disarm her, to make her feel relaxed, to make her feel confident, to try to get into rapport, try to get into some kind of alignment with her so that she feels like this person is, once again, non-threatening in the least, or this person is friendly and maybe my friend or a potential lover in the best. Now, as we keep evolving this process of being positive, meeting people, going out there, being curious, wanting to say hi to people, making observations, making compliments, looking for things that we can say to people. If you say to a girl, hey, I just want to meet you for a minute, you seem quite curious to me or you seem interesting, and then you chat, and then after a little bit of time, you might come across the fact that you find her very cute in the way that she looks at you. You might find her voice very soft. You might find her attitude or her nature very cute and very appealing or very positive. Or you may see that she has a certain depth or intellect or capacity or skill. Any of these things that you start to observe can be compliments. They can be positive observations, positive assumptions, things that you can give back to her that make her feel like she's being seen, she's being understood, and she's being respected and appreciated in her sense of self. So these are our first two steps. This is really all you need to do when you want to start to a cold approach. I want to go and meet people, and I want to make positive assumptions, observations, and feel good about interacting with people and just throw good energy at people. One thing I do for guys when I'm starting to say we want to go out and warm up and do stuff is we just start walking down the street, looking for people to make eye contact with, and we also strategically wave at people, say hi, hello, or like your style, or something very simple that's just throwing energy at somebody as they're coming towards you and walking past. One thing I see a lot of guys do is they find even little micro excuses not to do that. They will wait till the person comes too close, then say hi, and then miss the opportunity. They will see an opportunity where somebody's coming towards them, and then they will do something to be able to make that situation easy for them by not making eye contact, or maybe not saying the thing loud enough, or not waving clear enough. So you need to understand, if you want to be somebody who's going to go out into the world, who's going to be seen by other people, who's going to be, let's say, met by other people, appreciated by other people, you have to be prepared to be seen. You have to be prepared to take up space. You have to be prepared to show the world that you're here to be seen. Now, it's not easy to make that switch in your mind. So one of the first things you need to do is start to switch from, let's say, a cold state to a warm state. This is also part of our preliminary steps. Cold state means you don't feel like meeting people. You feel like a stranger. You feel like an alien. You feel like you don't know what to say. You feel like everybody's kind of in some different kind of reality and you're not quite there with them. Now, obviously, you don't feel like that when you're around friends. You don't feel like that when you're in a context that you understand. You don't feel like that when you're doing things that are in your control. But if you go out into a place or a time where you don't know what the situation is, you don't know what the reality is, it's let's say, an intrinsically insecure reality that you're part of, then it's going to put you into this position of being on the back foot. So one thing you need to start to be prepared of is how do we start to prepare ourselves so that we are okay with the vulnerability and the insecurity of the moment. And then we start to warm up, walk down the street, look at people in the eyes, wave, say hi, talk to people in shops. If you're very cold and you really don't know what to do, call a friend on the phone and say, hey, I'm walking around the city right now. I'm going out to meet some people. I just wanted to see how you're doing. I want to have a chat. How's your day? What are you doing? Talk about your feelings. Talk about yourself. This starts to warm you up. As you do that, you start to build a lot more context about who you are and how you're operating and how this works. So first thing is you want to go out with a human first, I want to meet you kind of attitude. Second thing is you want to start to have an idea of I want to give good energy to people, I want to give compliments, observations, I want to create little moments where I can start to have easy, simple exchanges that are going to be good, simple, just throwing good energy out into the world. Number three is then you start to bring in some intent. This is where the seduction starts to really happen, which is you tell her, I like you. You seem very sweet. You seem very cute. Or I like this style. Or you have this very lovely nature to you. You start showing her with your words and you start telling her, I like you. I think you're cute. I think you're interesting. I think you're beautiful. Now, you don't do that too much. You don't put like a lot of that, because it's like spice. You want a little bit of chili in your food because it's enough. So you might give, let's say, an indicator of interest, telling her, I like your voice, you seem very cute, you seem very smart, I like your style, you're very elegant, or maybe I can see you're into fitness, or I can see you're very dedicated, or I can see you put a lot of time and energy into this, and start to build this into some kind of context where you are showing her your intent, that you like her, you're a man, and you want to get to know her in a healthy kind of way. This is starting to build this momentum. Now there's multiple steps to this, there's still more steps after this. I'm not going to talk about in this video, maybe I'll talk about in some of the other videos. Now this is something that we cover comprehensively when we're doing our live training. We take painstaking hours to take a guy from, let's say, his lowest or starting position where he may have never even said hello to a girl, he might have some medium level experience, to a position where he knows how to warm up, he knows how to get somebody's interest, he knows how to give compliments, he knows how to disarm people, he knows how to get into interactions. Now it's very typical when we do these kinds of workshops that a guy will approach maybe over 100 women in a week. Now you think about that. What is the learning power of approaching 100 women in 1 week in a supported container with mentors, with a team of people, with everything that you need to be able to move forward? I can tell you from experience, it's the equivalent of doing probably years of cold approach by yourself with no models, no context, no support, and nothing around this. So I know that when we create these containers for guys, it creates this massive acceleration of insight so that they can start to break down these myths, these ideas, and start to get this confidence that they are capable of really going out there and meeting women. Now, one of the biggest shifts that I try to aim for, the biggest transmissions that I try to get guys to understand in this whole journey of becoming a seducer, becoming a lover, becoming this kind of guy, is you need to move from, let's say, the guy who's the average guy, the average dude who's trying to work it out, to being a lover, somebody who likes sensuality, intimacy, connection, women, talking, relating, somebody who feels good in their heart. The other thing I'll say, which is a very big inner game subject, and this is something that I also specialize in, maybe some people don't understand as much, that I focus a lot on helping guys to reframe their internal state of being, be able to connect with the resources inside themselves so they can build a strong and healthy sense of self, and also to be able to connect with, let's say, these subtle background resources or feelings inside of their body so that they can relax. Because oftentimes when we really break it down, the thing that's really messing with a guy, the thing that really stops him, it's a feeling. It's a feeling of compression, a feeling of contraction, a feeling of fear, a feeling of doubt, and he very quickly feels that feeling and spins that into a projection, a story, a fantasy, a myth, which could be, she doesn't want to talk to me because it's going to annoy her. I'm going to be an annoying, random, stinky, predatory, despicable sex pest. Now, if you think like that, it's going to be very hard because you're already starting to create a story. I'm going to walk up to her and I'm going to mess it up. She's not going to like it. It's going to feel uncomfortable. I'm going to be a pest. I'm going to be bothering her. Instead, think about, what does it mean to be a lover? What does it mean to be a connector? And start to think about, what would it be like if I could walk up to girls, I could walk up to people, I could have interactions, I could have pleasant exchanges, and it was easy. It felt good. And it started to create positive interactions with you and the world around you, and you start to move from this worldview that maybe you're not okay, or maybe the world's not okay, or maybe other people are not okay, to the opposite, where you're okay, the world's okay, everybody else is okay. And at this point, at which you feel you are, let's say, worthy, you're allowed to exist, you're allowed to show up, you have your own value, you have your own sense of power and purpose and things inside of you that you can work with. At this point, that's when you start to relax, that's when you start to feel good. And this is in a game. This is your internal states, your alignment to your heart, to your emotions, to your intention, to your ability to go into the world with an effective kind of ability to create the thing that you want. Now, internal states and mindsets are not the complete package. You cannot get perfectly good or, let's say, change your life in a complete way by just meditating and focusing on internal things or doing theoretical things and reading books all the time. But those things are incredibly powerful and important because they upgrade your sense of perception, your sense of place, your sense of power, your sense of what you can do and your capabilities in the world. And at the same time, we need to go out there and we need to test our assumptions. Test what is true. Go and approach these women, go and see what happens, and find out the truth. And I will bet you that if you consistently do this, that there will be more than a proportion of women who will be open and pleasant and feel very good about having you there and having a nice interaction with you. So I want you to think about, what does it feel like to be able to be the kind of guy that can do this? Coming from connection, keeping it simple, thinking about what positive energy and compliments you can give to her, and systematically challenging and dissolving this idea and this myth that women don't like to be approached, that it's annoying to be approached, that you're the kind of guy that's one of those guys that's in the annoying category of guys. The last point I'll make here before I wrap this video up is on that point, there's two ways that you can primarily see yourself when you're meeting strangers. One way you can see yourself when you're meeting strangers is you can see yourself as an annoyance. You can see yourself as a bothering element inside of that situation. So you could basically say you're a pest or somebody that's not supposed to be there. Now, when you walk up to people and they don't know you, they have no idea about who you are, they don't know which box to put you in either. And sometimes people will put you into the box of, I don't have time. I'm annoyed. I don't like this. I don't want this time. I don't want this attention. I don't need men to give me this kind of offers or invitations or these kinds of things. And when somebody puts you into that position where you feel judged, you feel small, you feel like what you did was wrong, the tendency is for guys to put themselves in that same box. So not only is somebody else telling you that you're, let's say, a pest or you're annoying them, or that's the sense that you're getting from them, you start telling that to yourself. And then you're double trouble, basically. You're in double trouble because you get smashed from both sides. The other person believes you're not worthy, and then you start to believe that you're not worthy. Now, there is another mindset here. And the other mindset here is that you are capable, allowed, worthy, and you can go out and meet people and you can start to be the kind of person that starts to create connections and starts to create good things in life. Now, you need to start to build that identity. It's very much the same as becoming somewhat of a kind of a salesman, maybe, or somebody that's like a brand kind of representative. You know, you're going out into the world to say to people, hey, I want to tell you about something really cool. And that something that's really cool is me. It's my brand, it's my life, it's my cool thing. And I would love to share that with you. I'd love to find out about you, your brand, your life, your purpose, your mission, and how we might have some kind of alignment. So what I want you to think about is, how does it feel to become positive salesman? Let's say somebody who is a positively directed, positively focused creator of their sense of identity as a lover, as a connector moving forward in the world. To the degree that you build this, let's say, mindset, to the degree that you build this personality where this is you, you are a lover, you are evolving, you are connecting, you are becoming the kind of guy that is going to be able to do this stuff over time. It might take days, it might take months, it might take years even in the totality of this big journey, but you are on the path and you're moving towards that. When you feel good about that, when you reinforce that, when that is your confident position that you believe more than the fact that you're a pest, then when you walk up to people, when you walk up to girls and you want to go and meet them and they try to put you into the pest box, they try to put you into the despicable box, the unworthy box, you know in your head, I don't belong in that box. And you can say, thanks very much, it was nice to meet you, have a great day, and you can leave them with a good vibe and you can just move on and wait for somebody else or look for somebody else that will be open to seeing you in this positive thing. Or if you're feeling ballsy and confident and you've built the skill sets, you can challenge her about that maybe. You can stay in that interaction. You can be flirty, you can be fun, you can collapse that energy. You can maybe show her, I'm actually not that guy that is the annoying pest guy, and as much as you try to put me into that box, I know that's what you think I am, but I'm really this guy. And she might not even know what a lover is. She might not even know what an adventurous, let's say, free, capable man is really like. So you have to teach her and show her and stay in that interaction for some time to start to give her the opportunity to let go of her misconception that you're annoying her. So with all that put together, it gives you a pretty comprehensive nutshell of what you can do when it comes to this fear, this very common myth or this very common limiting belief that women don't want to be approached by men. Lots of cool stuff to look at there. I hope you took some notes. I hope that's nice and juicy for you and you got some value out of it. I would very much love if you have any comments, questions, or particular myths or difficulties that you would like to put into the comments section that I can address in other future videos. It's my aim that I would like to create a series along these lines, taking into account these touch points, these limiting beliefs, these problems that guys have, and starting to give you more sophisticated, more clear understandings from my 15 years experience as a dating coach and a men's lifestyle transformation coach, helping thousands of men to create the confidence that they love inside their life. And I would love to help you guys. So help me, help you, give me some comments, let me know what you guys need, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Much love to you. This is the Shaman saying peace. See you in the next video.
Good day, gentlemen. You can tell by the flag in the background that I'm in Bucharest, Romania, speaking at a conference with the one and only Zan Perrion and my good friend Gareth Jones. And I hope you enjoyed this video of the infinitely wise Shay Matthews with some very practical and spiritually deep tips on how to get over the fucking problem of how to go and talk to chicks and what to say. If you like this video and you'd like to receive a 3-part series where I go into the nuts and bolts and mechanics of how to go from high to getting on a date, click the link below, put your email in, you'll get that immediately. And if you'd like to join myself and the crew for a live workshop, well, it's too late for this year, we're already sold out. But next spring, we'll be hitting the road again. And we've got a couple of workshops listed for Budapest, my spiritual seduction home. So you should get on a call with us. Right now we're offering some early bird discounts for guys who want to sign up and commit to making 2024 the year where they get their shit sorted, get the ladies that they want, and build the confidence that they need to be excellent communicators and ladies' men and kick-ass dudes. Get on a call, have a chat with us, obligation free. And if not, we'll see you in the next video. Peace.